Praise Yahuah, brothers and sisters. Praise our sovereign one, the King of Kings, the great and mighty one, the one so worthy of all honor and esteem and adore. May I come to the place that I love him with all my heart, all my being, everything that I have, that nothing would stand between me living to please him and to honor him and reverence him. Today I want to read from Macabees, First Macabees, chapter 2. And it will go along with the video that asked, are we able to stand for him, to give our lives? That's not the correct title. And I'll put that title in the description area so you can listen to it if you like. But in the book of the Maccabees, I usually read it during this month every year. And I'm going to read some to you now. So First Maccabees, chapter 2. In those days, Mattathiyahu, the son of Yohanan, the son of Simeon, a Kohen of the sons of Yoyarib, came from Yerushalayim and dwelt in Modium. And he had 5 sons. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Yehudah, and Yerushalayim, he said, woe is me, why was I born to see this misery of my people and of the Kodesh city, and to dwell there when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the Mikdash into the hand of foreigners. Her Hakal has become as a man without esteem, and our Mikdash, even our splendor and our esteem, is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it. Why, therefore, shall we live any longer? Then Mattathiyahu and his sons tore their garments and put on sackcloth and mourned greatly. In the meantime, the sovereign's officers, this is the evil king that had come and was slaughtering people and profaning the Hekal, the Mikdash. So this sovereign's officers, who compelled the people to revolt, came into the city of Moedim to make them offer. And when many of those of Yerushalayim came to them, Mattathiyahu and his sons also came together. Then the sovereign's officers answered and spoke to Mattathiyahu in this way: you are a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brothers. Now therefore you come first and complete the sovereign's command, as all the Gentiles have done, and also the men of Yehudah, and those who remain at Yerushalayim. So you and your house shall be in the number of the sovereign's friends, and you and your children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards. Then Mattathiyahu answered and spoke with a loud voice: though all the nations that are under the sovereign's reign obey him, and everyone falls away from the belief of their fathers and gives consent to his commands, still my sons and my brothers and I will walk in the covenant of our fathers. Yahuah forbids that we should forsake or abandon the book of the laws. We will not listen to the sovereign's words to go from our belief, either to the right hand or to the left. Now when he had finished speaking these words, one of the Yehudim came in the sight of all to offer on the altar that was at Modium, according to the sovereign's command. So to the king's command. This Yehudim. When Mattathiyahu saw this matter, he burned with ardor, and he trembled within. Neither could he refrain from to show his wrath according to the righteousness. Therefore he ran and slew him upon the altar. At that time, he also killed the sovereign's commissioner, who compelled him to offer, and he pulled down the altar. Thus he dealt with ardor for the law of Yahuah, as Phinehas did towards Zimri, the son of Salu. And Matthew cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, "Whoever is ardent for the Torah, the book of the laws, and continues in the covenant, let him follow me." So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that they had in the city. Then many that sought after right ruling and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there, both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because affliction increased greatly among them. Now when it was told to the sovereign servants and the army that was at Jerusalem in the city of Dawood, that some men who had broken the sovereign's command had gone down into the hiding places in the wilderness, they pursued after them in great number. And having overtaken them, they encamped against them and fought against them on the Shabbat. And they said to them, "Let that you've done until now be enough. Come out and do according to the command of the sovereign, and you shall live." But they said, "We do not come out, neither shall we do the sovereign's command to profane the Shabbat day." So then they fought them in haste. However, they did not answer them, neither threw a stone at them, nor disclosed the places where they lay hid, but said, "Let us die all in our innocence. The Shamayim and the Haretz will witness for us that you put us to death wrongfully." So they rose up against them in battle on the Shabbatah, and they slew them with their wives and children and their cattle, to the number of 1,000 people. Now when Matthew and his friends heard of this, they mourned for them greatly. And one of them said to another, "If we all do as our brothers have done, and do not fight for our lives and laws against the Gentiles, they will now quickly destroy us from the Aretz." At that time, therefore, they agreed, saying, "Whoever shall come to fight with us on the Shabbatah, we will fight against him. Neither will we all die as our brothers that were murdered in the hiding places." Then an army of Hasidim came to him, who were mighty men of Yisrael, even all those who were voluntarily dedicated to the law. Also all those who fled from persecution joined themselves to them and were a support to them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their wrath and wicked men in their wrath, but the rest fled to the Gentiles for support. Then Matthew and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars, and whatever uncircumcised children they found within the borders of Yisrael, those they courageously circumcised. They also pursued after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand. So they retained the book of the law from the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of sovereigns. Neither did they allow transgressors to overcome. Now when the time drew near that Matthew would die, he said to his sons, "Excellence and rebuke has now gained strength, in the time of destruction and the wrath of displeasure. Now therefore, my sons, be ardent for the book of the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found trustworthy in temptation, and it was reckoned to him for righteousness? Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the command and was made master of Mizraim. Phinehas, our father, in being ardent and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting Kehunan. Yahushua, fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Yisrael. Caleb, for bearing witness before the assembly, received the inheritance of the land. Dawood, for being kind, possessed the throne for an everlasting reign. Eliyahu, for being ardent and fervent for the book of the law, was taken up into the Shamayim. Ananiah, Azariah, and Mishael were saved out of the fire by belief. Daniel, for his innocence, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And so consider throughout all the ages that none that put their trust in him, Yahuah, shall be overcome. Do not fear then the words of a wicked man, for his esteem shall be dung and worms. Today he may be lifted up, but tomorrow he shall not be found, because he has returned to his dust, and his plans have come to naught. Therefore, my sons, be brave and show yourselves men on behalf of the book of the law, for by it you shall obtain esteem. And see, I know that your brother Simeon is a man of counsel. Listen to him also. Listen to him always. He shall be a father to you. As for Yahuah, Macabees, he has been mighty and strong even from his youth. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people. Also receive all those that observe the law and avenge the wrong of your people. Pay the Gentiles completely and guard the commands of the book of the law. So as he baraked them and was gathered to his fathers, he died in the 146th year, and his sons buried him in the tomb of his fathers at Modium, and all Yisrael made a great lamentation for him. Brothers and sisters, I don't know how often you read the Maccabees or if you ever have, but I would if I were you, because I believe it'll be an encouragement to us. Yes, many, many, many lost their lives, but they lost enduring to the end. They loved Yahuah and the law and all they have been taught. And we're going to be faced with a lot of similar calamities, and we got to make a decision. And even as we saw here, there were some that should have stood, but they didn't. They feared man. They loved their lives more than they loved Yahuah. We need to start, well, I shouldn't say what you need to do. I need to start continually working on myself to get to a place where I die. I die right now in my flesh, that there's no flesh here. Yahushua said the enemy's coming, but he has nothing in me. There's nothing in common with him that's in me. Well, there's still some things in me that's still common to some of these mighty ones because I have not completely died out. And yet I know I have to, and I'm working on it. Because how else can someone, if you don't, they say if you don't believe in something, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Our belief has got to be that strong in what we are reading and hearing and watching of the law, being a commandment keeper, all that we're ingesting right now. It's got to become a part of it. It can't just be a ritual. It cannot just be religion. It's got to be real, because we're getting ready to be faced with some tests and trials to see whose side we're on. Remember Musa had said that one day after they had that, they erected that calf and was given it honor and esteem, saying that it brought them out of Misraim and through the Red Sea, because Musa was up in the mountains for so long. Just that quick. Not that they were supposed to be following Musa anyways, but because he was gone, they felt like he wasn't going to come back, or they didn't know what was going on with him. They went to idolatry. What are we going to do? Are we going to be are we working to be one with Yahuah, so that when we're one with him, we'll be able to stand, because we will be one with him. We will have such love for those things that are for him that when someone goes against it, we take offense at it. Personal offense. Are we there? Have we really come out from among her? Do we still have some bits and pieces left in there? These people, and we're going to read more, these people loved Yahuah. I'm just flipping through the pages and I see a verse here. Chapter 3, verse 53. He says, how shall we be able to stand against them unless you, O Yahuah, are our help? And that's what we have to know. No matter what we're going through, we're going to say those kind of things to remind ourselves who it is we serve, who it is who is faithful to us. How shall we be able to stand against the enemy unless Yahuah is our help? And we read a lot of those verses in the book of Tehillim. Dawood saying the same thing. Brothers and sisters, if we were faced with that, if right now they made a decree where we live that we had to give up. See, verse 50 in chapter 2 says, "Now therefore, my sons, be ardent for the Torah and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers." Because earlier in that chapter, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, okay, so earlier in the chapter, no, it was the previous chapter. So this evil, wicked soldier came into the town, and on the 15th day of the month Kislev, in the 145th year, they had put up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and built idol altars throughout the cities of Yehudah on every side, and burned incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had torn in pieces the books of the law, they burned them with fire. First they tore them up and then burnt them with fire. And whoever was found with any of the book of the covenant, or if any adhered to the law, the king's command was that they should put him to death. Thus they did by their authority to the children of Yisrael every month, to as many as were found in the cities. Now on the 25th day of the month they slaughtered on the idol altar that was upon the altar of Yahuah. And at that time, according to the command, they put to death some women that had allowed their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants by their necks and ransacked their houses and slew those who had circumcised them. However, many in Yisrael were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean matter. Therefore, rather to die, that they might not be defiled with food, and that they might not profane the Kodesh covenant. So then they died. And very great wrath came to be upon Yisrael. Can we do it? I know my messages sometimes seem so solemn. Brothers and sisters, if we're not prepared, we're going to fall. And I just want to believe that something that you hear on this platform will come back to your heart. And I liked how Yahuah was on his deathbed, and he was reminding his sons of all the patriots prior, what all they did and how Yah was with them. And we have to know he is the same. And we know there's a verse that says in Luke 21 that to ask Yah that we be accounted worthy to escape the things that are coming upon the face of the earth. Well, we know everything that's coming is a snare unto us. Everyone every inhabitant of the earth, it has come to try us. Some of the things are going to be the wrath of Yah against the evil, wicked ones, and some of the things are going to be the wrath of the evil one coming at the commandment keepers, after the remnant. But the remnant are going to be those who know their Yahuah and are strong and will do great exploits. So we really have nothing to fear. Today, I got a message on my phone about concerning a situation that's going on with one of my sons. And remember, all my sons are adults. And every time he shares something, we all be like, oh, And so today we shared something, and I allowed myself to get shook. I wanted to do it on purpose. I just gave into it because I wanted to see, like, okay, this is nothing. This is nothing compared to an evil report I might hear. Like, they've just made a law that they're coming to everyone's house. They're going to take away everyone that has the book of the law, or everyone that has anything that has the paleo script of Yahuah's name, or whatever they may say. And I thought I said, You know, even if we're afraid, Tahalim 56 says, we will trust in him. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It's the resistance to fear, and it's the mastery of fear. So because we might shake a little, doesn't mean we've given in. It doesn't mean we're not enduring. It doesn't mean that we have succumbed to the enemy's tyrants and ranting. It just means that's a little human response. And we also know that the word fear, if you do an acronym, is false evidence appearing real. So even though they may be coming and saying and doing, that is real, right? So it's not only appearing real, it does look real. But the part that means appearing real is the fact that we have to remember who's greater than that. Remember, there's been a couple of messages on the mighty ones. There are mighty ones here. We don't deny that. But we serve the Almighty. So no matter what comes our way, when our mind is stayed on him, Yahuah says in chapter 26, verse 3, he will keep us in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on him. And the last part, what a lot of people drop, they don't say it, is and trust in him. So let's work at being, as Yahuah showed himself and his sons in this. It's going to really take a dying out. It's going to take, it's like if someone's changing their eating habit and someone offers one of their favorite foods at dinner and they already know that this is not the best for me. I'm going to choose these other foods that I know are better for me. It's going to give me ultimate health. I'm not going to do it. And there's a battle going on in the mind. There's a battle going on in the mind, and that flesh is wanting that favorite dish. They can smell it so keenly, and they're looking at it, and it looks so delicious. But they make that choice, and that's where we got to get. That we choose, rather than watching our favorite TV program. Used to be our favorite TV program. We've got all our work caught up. We've worked hard today. We're going to sit back and relax. And let me watch this. Or will I watch a video that's going to encourage me in the walk with Yahuah? Am I going to choose to even maybe just go and curl up with the, read some out of the law? What are we going to choose? We're going to choose pleasure and tell ourselves we deserve it. This life only lasts a little while. We're trying to make eternity with Yah. Not eternal separation, but living eternally with him. So that means we're going to have to die out here. And let me tell you, this flesh is too strong a man right now in most of us. So, brothers and sisters, until next time, may you think on these things, and may you desire the things of Yah, to be like these people. And wait till I read, or you read more on the Maccabees and how devoted, that's the word, devoted they were to Yahuah. The allegiance that they had to him. That's why Dawood says in Tahalim about guarding the Torah, guarding it. Whew. Well, I'm going to go. I love you, brothers and sisters. May we be true to the end. May this not just be a simple walk, and then when we're coming to say, let's pay up, you got to pay up. Does it really mean that much to you? Pay up. Or we're going to toss it aside and say, well, okay. Because, if we have this kind of life now where we're presumptuous and we're like, oh, he understands. Like I was eating something today, and my flesh wanted to make excuses and justify why I could eat this. And oh, no. I'm working at not being presumptuous. Because I believe what he means. Musa has said in one place, I think it's in Dabarim, he said, everything that Yahuah has said he's going to do, he's done. The good he said he's going to do, he's done it. And he will also, rest assured, these are my words now, rest assured that he will also do the evil that he said that he will do. In other words, if he said, it's like a good parent. If the parent says you do that again, you're going to get a spanking. You better think about it. And the child does it again. Now you know that child is testing the parent, right? And if the parent does not stick to their word, what is that child going to do? Lose respect and know that he can do anything he wants to. Our Father's a just Father. He's good. He's better than earthly parents. He told us that. That when our earthly parents do punish or chastise, they do it for their own will, their own pleasure. But if he does something, he does it for our good. And he chastens those whom he loves. Stay in courage, in the state of courage, brothers and sisters. Stay in the state of courage. Resist fear. Master it. But don't get too down on yourself if you do get fearful. Just know what to do with it. I'll talk to you soon. Stay encouraged and in the state of courage. And remember that we win in Yahuah all the time. Whether it looks like it or not, the end result is victory. Victory. Hallelujah. Praise him.